Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Financial Griot, aka TFG. I'm one of three of the co-hosts, Alainta, Alcin. And here at the Financial Griot, we love just talking stories.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
we just
Oh
talk,
yeah.
right? A lot of talking, but it's all in the goal and the objective is to just try and make us better people and to share our stories and hopefully to gain the knowledge so we can become wealth builders and create a community that we always thought to do. So, Lawrence, two of my co-hosts, or one of my co-hosts, Lawrence Gonzalez, is here with me. Lovely is not. I just want to give her a big shout out because she just graduated with her master's in business
Boo.
administration. Such a hater, but Lovely, we love you. We so proud of you, and yeah, bigs up. So she's not here today, but she's at graduation, and we'll be celebrating with her in the near future. But I got LG with me. So what's up, LG? How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm not gonna be celebrating her. Like I don't want to celebrate these accomplishments
Stop
of
it!
others.
Stop
Of
it!
others.
Stop being such a
Like
hater.
she out here living her dreams. I only have a bachelor's, so I'm out here like I was trying to hold her down.
You have a certificate, right?
A certificate is in what's it called, certified
Financial
fraud
planning.
exam? No, certified fraud examiner.
Yeah, include that.
Yeah, I could spot frauds. That's what I could do. Like that's a scam right there.
Yeah,
I pay
include
money
that.
annually, so obviously I still got it.
That's part of your auditing position, correct?
No, it's not necessarily part of the auditing, but you could pick it up and it kind of makes you look a little bit better. But it's still
Okay.
not anything because I need to pick up something like a certified financial auditor. No,
I thought that's what it was.
certified internal auditor is another certification, or you could get a certified public accountant certificate out there. So there's a couple other things you can get to pick up, and that could make you look like a viable candidate for raises and roles and such. But I'm sitting, I'm still in my saltiness, man. I'm sitting in the corner salty.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get that CPC, but I'm gonna wait until my employer offer the course again so I could get it for free.
Look
Even
at that.
though
They just giving Black women opportunities to succeed. Boo!
that's everyone in the company.
Like,
Excuses, just like a black man.
and Twitter be weird. There's just some spaces. Twitter is just like, what's wrong with some of these guys? They're so angry.
What's I can't even start on that. But I think that's gonna be in the near future again. Like I'm not gonna stop until I get it, and I just don't want to invest the money myself again. So I'm just gonna wait until they offer it. Most likely they will. Because it will make me a viable candidate aside from my master's because I do a lot of claim analysis and a lot of data reporting. So just learning about I'm already in the revenue cycle of healthcare management, but just learning about coding and the reason and the body parts anatomy and stuff like that and chart reviewing, I think that would make me really good. Maybe I can possibly work for a hospital, something like a revenue cycle manager, RCM.
Oh, so you're the person that make up the weird the cost for everything. That's
I
what you're
work
gonna
with
be.
the costs, yeah,
Like yeah, you just me making up costs in the corner. Like
the contracts and stuff like
what we
that.
charging today? For
They made six figure. They made pretty good money, but
yeah, obviously they make it by gutting people. It's like, hey, you know what? This cancer
healthcare guys
surgery
is such a business.
5,000 today.
It's such a business. I can't even tell you. Even with my new position, I'm not sure if I share with you and Lovely. Like it's just been lately, or just me just getting more into the thick of things, just like a mental burnout. Like today, I scheduled myself. I was off today, so I scheduled myself to get a massage, and I think I'm gonna continue doing that for like every 2 or 3 weeks or something for myself.
Yeah, soft life.
I just fell asleep and like I forgot I was at getting a massage, and because it's becoming a bit much of the capacity of everything I have to learn, not necessarily just learn, communicate to others, because we work with offshore stakeholders in India. So it's a lot. Yeah. And I feel like the pressure is on me because I have executives sitting in these meetings as well. So I'm talking, I want to make sure I'm not sounding dumb. I'm not sounding anything. I'm communicating the right information. So it's a little pressured and just a lot because I deal with a lot of specialties. So I'm just like, yo, but I think it's just a good opportunity for me to learn and to expand my knowledge and my skill set. So I'm up for the up for the challenge, but I do feel that mental burnout a bit, and it's just getting started. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, bruh. So I gotta. Well, I'm happy I have my best friend, so I could talk to her more about it, how she balanced it out, because I don't know. This who I get. I'm trying to get all these damn degrees.
Hey,
Trying to climb the
you're
corporate
pushing for
ladder.
that. Yeah.
Climbing the corporate ladder.
You're pushing upwards. You're punching the ceiling down. Like you out there.
I
Is it
mean,
kicking the glass ceiling? Punching the ceiling up?
uh, uh,
I don't know which one.
shattering the glass ceiling or something like that.
Yes, that's it. But why would you shatter a glass ceiling? Wouldn't it fall on top of your head?
That's a good point.
Hey, see? Hey, logic out here from the bachelor's degree earner. There it is.
But you'll be protected if you do it smart enough.
Yeah. It sounds like a problem. But I see what you mean. Like there's some points you do have to keep pushing because looking back, now I'm almost entering the 10th year of working for the government in
Already?
an auditing position. Yeah,
Damn.
I was hired December 17, 2013.
2014? Oh,
2013.
13. Yeah.
December
Damn.
17, 2013. It would bring me to 10 years. I'm like, whoa.
LJ, you old, baby.
Woo, it's been there for a bit. So,
Well, move,
like,
papa.
no, there's other people. It gets crazy enough. There's other people that have been there way before me. So I'm looking at them like, woo. It wears on you because I've seen people kind of, stay in the same position, same role where I'm kind of stuck at right now. But I don't necessarily want to be stuck at this position in the staff auditor position. I don't do want to move up to the manager position, but after, being rejected twice for the role, I kind of fell into like this salty, I'm just going to milk the game for what it is kind of position. And maybe I got too comfortable there because now I'm like, I don't know, try harder, but I'm still getting paid pretty well. So I'm confused. It's a weird space that I'm in, but I am seeking mentoring. I do have a mentor now. So we'll see where that goes, but I do need to work on some level of certifications and even to a point, maybe switch different directorates or even switch different agencies. If I could find another role that's remote, that's another problem too. Now, I'm good where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm comfortable with this, I guess, remote life. To kind of go back into the place, that'd be weird for me. It throw me off. Whereas I could kind of
where would you be interested in transferring if you had a chance?
I'd probably transfer directly to the IRS section, the cousin agency out there because they have their own section, TIGDA, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, aren't they hiring like crazy right now?
They're hiring line tax people that just kind of go different locations. So if you have, because there's DC area stuff, but then there's a lot of different cities got their own IRS agents.
Gotcha.
So that's why they're hiring all over the place because it's all over the place. Whereas I'd probably still centralize over here in the DMV area, but I'd probably be working with the TIGDA. TIGDA is more of the auditing branch of taxes. So I wouldn't be a line tax person, but I'd be like a person auditing taxes. If that makes sense. You got real quiet, but it's okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just had an Amazon package. Yeah.
Oh, that's like important stuff coming in.
I mean, I want to see who's at my door.
Yeah, like so that's where I'm at with that one. It's not. I'm in a very interesting space that I'm so comfortable that I could kind of milk this position until I retire in 15 years.
So it's five more years. They're gonna do a 15 solid.
No, 15 solid. An additional 15, and I'm good. Like I'm good pension wise. My pension would be valued close to like $800,000. So basically, like every year I'd be able to take, or they'll be paying me around $40,000 on top of all the other investments that I have. So based on my investment schedule, the way that I'm slated now, me and my wife retire with at least $4 million, at least.
Nice.
And because of knowing that, it doesn't give me a lot of drive to do more, if that makes any sense.
I guess to do more within the career sector,
Yeah, it's
your
almost
personal,
like,
yeah.
yeah, if I was not making as much as I'm making, and for full disclosure, I'm making, and you could actually Google me, I guess. If you Google my name, it'll
Yeah,
pop
he
up,
works
and
for the government. You can
the
tell.
government,
Yeah.
like you could see how much everybody in my office makes if they make over a certain, I guess if they're in a certain position, that's when all their work history is revealed, right? And you could keep up with it at all given times. So I'm making $127,000. That's really good money, for my opinion, from the work that I'm doing. Because I used to slave out at McDonald's, FedEx, Best Buy, in the Marine Corps. I even worked retail, Gap, Old Navy, loss prevention, all of this stuff. I could tell you this is pretty much cakewalk in comparison to all of those positions I've ever worked. And I'm getting paid oodles more for it. So for me, it's almost like I feel like I fell into a cushion or cush job that I could ride out for the next 15 years.
Yeah, as long as you okay with that, and you guys get raises what every year, correct?
Get raises every year, and every 2 years or so, there's like a grade raise as well. So at any given moment, and there's another thing too, that for anybody who's listening, if your job is not giving you a raise in 2 years, then you should be looking for other
Oh,
employment.
absolutely.
That's just like
Absolutely.
rule. It's just a soft rule out there that some people don't know. That job is, if they're passing you over constantly for raises, then it's likely that it's never going to come. I have some friends that stayed in jobs and positions where they thought, oh yeah, next year. My manager told me next year, and after 10 years, they're still saying next year. So if you're not getting promoted in 2 years or so, start really working towards certifications, changing the resume, and looking for employment elsewhere, because that's probably going to give you a income increase that you probably never known existed. Basically, just jumping back out there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, life is expensive too. So you should
yeah,
be out there and looking, even if you're comfortable in your job or rabbit ears, if your job is secure or not. You should be looking to see what is going on in the market in your industry to just as keep an eye out of new things, new technology or new innovation or whatever to keep you competitive. Like what's really, what's really going on, because that would really gain you more attraction because I guess with
not
you,
even.
it's okay,
Yeah,
with your government,
I'll
but
add this. I'll add this too. Inflation is another key too. So if you're not getting a promotion, like maybe even 3 or 4%, inflation was kicking our behind at 8%, 5% plus. So your dollars are not going as far as you think. And when you get promoted, people, like seriously, when you get promoted, don't go blow money on the next expense, right? Because that promotion, like the 3%, whatever it is, if you really calculate it out, divided by 12 or the months, you notice that
ain't that much.
that is like $50. Like
Mine was like 100. Ain't
you
that
came up like
much.
$40, $50. You're like, what the heck? But some people go out and they spend on the next big thing, like maybe 1,000, 2,000, or even get a new car. Whereas in truth, they never really got that much money. That 3%, 5% is not really cutting. You're just keeping up with inflation at that point. So for me, I feel that I've been keeping up with inflation. And beyond that, I'm probably making likely 3x the amount the average American is making, right? So it's a very comfortable position, and the only reason I could say that with confidence is because the area that I'm in the DMV area. Even after the 2008 recession, it's one of the first places to recover. It always stays up in terms of salary. It's not as high cost of living as New York. It's definitely not LA. So this is a right place so that you could really get paid, quote unquote, the value of your work and not kind of like lose your hair. So, for example, the current position I have is an auditor in the state of Florida. The peak would be probably $48,000.
Outside of the government, you're saying?
No. In the same role that I'm using right now as a state government auditor, like or a government auditor, if I went to the state of Florida and with the same job position with same experience, the cap over there is like $48,000 for auditors.
Oh wow.
It's
Well,
an
I guess if
insane.
are you saying like if it was like a public auditor? Because I would think like a
No,
private
well,
auditor would be
obviously,
more
yeah.
money.
Obviously, if you're in like a big one of the big fours, that's a
Yeah.
different scenario where you're kind of like in this private corporate scenario. But majority of people are not in the big four. Majority of people that end up in an auditing field, they probably work for the state, the city, so on and so forth. And the cap on that is around like $48,000.
Yeah, some
For
people
a
not
Big
working
Four,
for
sometimes,
Ernest and Young and all this other stuff. Yeah.
yes, a lot of those people at Ernst and Young, maybe you're starting or maybe you mid tier, you're probably getting paid around 100K. That's for sure. But the level of hours that you're billing or you're working for is a whole heck of a lot more than what I'm doing. If in other terms, like, hey, I got that 40 hours a week. I'm out. I don't even say nothing to my manager. I'm like, deuces. You already know what time it is.
Yeah, it's a comfortable position. Yeah.
Yeah, for them, like sometimes they'd be working like a 70-hour week, 80-hour week. Sometimes it's a norm for them to go through an entire season doing like 70-hour weeks and just kind of like still pocketing the same amount of money. So it's suffice to say, in a negative way, this job is making me super relaxed and very comfortable. Maybe too comfortable, especially having a financial plan that's tailored for me to actually still retire a millionaire, a multimillionaire, and travel the world.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's weird. I'll tell you right now, that's a very weird place to be. Because if you already have your plan, like my plan is so, I don't want to say it's razor tight as much as it's so set, it's so good enough the way that I've structured it that I will get to that point no matter what. Me and my wife are set to retire early and plus pocket as much as $100,000 a year without ever running out of money.
That's that moolah. That's that real
do you understand what we do with $100,000? It's basically I can basically fund myself into retirement, and in retirement do nothing and still get paid the same amount.
Boss.
Isn't that weird? And that's why I try to tell
it's
people.
It's not weird. That's the
get
dream.
A financial plan.
Mean?
I'm like, get a financial plan because that thing is a whole different beast. Like if you got a good plan, like you looking at, I look at my manager like, yeah, 15 more years, bro.
15 that's more years. That's it. But no, going back to the graduation thing, the degrees and stuff. Now you got all your damn degrees. It's nice to see everyone, graduating because I seen some high school and I see people going to high school. I see some people graduating from college. So it's really good to see like those transition and like people I grew up, friends and childhood friends, their children going off to the second tier of their careers, like college career or high school career or whatnot. So it's pretty cool to see that. And you posted in our group that, what school was it? They gave him $1,000 as a gift.
Oh no, that wasn't me that posted. That was actually
Lovely. Oh, she was salty.
Yeah. Well, that was her school. I think her school maybe it was her school.
Was it Boston, Mass?
Yeah, it was Boston, but isn't she in Boston? I think she's she's a
graduate. Yeah, that's
the undergrad gave all they gave all the undergrad $1,000. They did not give like the graduate students $1,000, which is funny because the reason they gave that much money because these schools have been pocketing a lot of money from these kids. They got endowments. They have better funding as far as like their money makes money for them because it's also invested in the market. So they actually have investing, I guess, wealth managers. The schools themselves are
like Harvard and everything.
Ooh, they're killing it. Like they're killing it because you're getting so much money from the kids every year, but you're investing that money in even at 8% or even if they get lucky and they toss a couple in the NASDAQ or even NVIDIA this year, that's up 165% plus. It's insane. All because, they have the money to invest.
Yeah, it's really important where you go to school.
Yeah.
So
it's really important what you do with your money because you have to get in the position where you become an investor. I think that's the key message because your school gonna make money off of you no matter what. That $1,000 to a kid that shows that got it, they probably blew it already. They probably already scheduled a flight somewhere where they're gonna blow the rest of the money. So
they're like, this is my gift.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing about like free money. Free money comes and goes in your hand the quickest. I think that's one of those most problematic things you can ever have. If somebody gives you $5,000 Yeah, it's gonna be a nice little lump sum, but that 5 grand will be gone by the end of this month because you already have in your mind things that you're gonna go do with it. Maybe 10%, 20% will go do something important, but then you're gonna be like, I need to treat myself and really go get me a massage every 3 months, 3 weeks or so.
Hater.
Hey, I'm just saying, soft life
Nothing
in the
wrong with a
game.
massage, soft life.
You know,
All
get a
day.
subscription at that point.
No, I
Subscribe.
was thinking about it. So
You
maybe.
know, my buddy did it. Prem, he used to do that all the time in Tallahassee. He had subscriptions for the massage, and he also had subscriptions for the yoga stuff. So
Yeah, because I haven't got a massage. I don't think I got any this year yet, or maybe once or twice. Not, I don't get it frequently, but when I do, it's really nice. You know, I don't know. I think it's just a total of just work and just kind of balancing off like family life and personal life and all this other stuff. It's just like it's nice to
self
kind of
care,
self
self
care.
care,
That
self
self care.
luxury.
No, seriously, it's
Yeah, I'm
fun.
not. Yeah, it's not bad. I haven't had a massage in a bit too, but I think I was spoiled. My first massage was overseas in Qatar because of the Marine Corps stuff.
Oh, of
Went over
course,
there.
like 20 years ago. So
Yo,
you haven't got a
no,
massage
pause.
yet?
No, I got afterwards. I'm just saying I was spoiled because I went to Qatar and they got the massage and it was cheap. When I mean cheap, it might have been $40 or $20 for like 2 hours. And it was an
You said
amazing
two
massage.
hours?
Yeah, like I was like, what the heck is this?
I paid
I think
55 for an hour.
hey, I was like walking away, man. I walked away. I'm like, this was amazing. And then I, eventually paid for something in Miami, and I'm like, the cost is incredibly high, and the skill was just not there. So I was spoiled with the idea that I need to go overseas to get actual massages that are fairly priced. So the next massage is also already set up in my mind in Brazil at the end of this year.
Nice.
That's gonna be. We're going to. I don't even know how to say it for Iguacazu Falls. So
In
we're gonna
Brazil?
be out there. Yeah, it's in Brazil, but it's one of those like natural wonders. So we're gonna be there next to Iguacazu Falls. There is a hotel. I think it's Hotel de Caranatas, and that thing is a luxury hotel, peak luxury. And I'm going in. I'm like, I'm going with the car.
So the
Let's
place when you was
roll.
in Qatar paying for $40 for two
Oh yeah,
hours, you
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
do double that in Brazil?
Oh no,
Or
no,
it's
no.
gonna be cheaper?
The Brazil is not that cheap. No,
Okay, I was
don't
just
laugh
gonna
at your
say,
life.
I'm like, what's the
No,
comparison in that one?
no, it's definitely not cheap,
But
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 it's
you think the
almost
quality is gonna be
yeah,
just as
yeah.
okay? You're paying for the okay. I
I'm
get what you're
paying for
saying.
that experience of being in this super luxury location, and hopefully it's up to par. But
Soft
the price
life,
is actually pretty okay too because it's reais. So when you do the conversion, it's not too bad. It's like
soft black
maybe
man
70, 80
life.
bucks or something.
Yeah, I
Huh?
love it. Soft black man life. I love it.
Oh yeah, all the way in. So I'm not mad at what you're doing. I'm just not mad. I'm just saying, hey, call it
Long
what
as
it is.
Carlos,
Let's just call it what it
the
is. It is the
it's
soft life. We're living the
it's
soft
very
life.
soft because this is the first time I done a massage with this person named Carlos, and let me tell you, I fell asleep. I was drooling. I forgot I fell asleep. Like
You lost your composure, your
I
ladylike.
lost it. I was just out of it. It felt so good, but I recommend it. And honestly, this is like the most affordable place because there's you not live here in West Palm, so there's one like this luxury. I forgot what's it called. A lot of people go to it, but they have the fountain, they have all this stuff for 1 hour for a massage, like $200. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes I don't
it's
trust those
expensive.
places because I'm like, yo, if you're gonna charge me 200, this better be primo stuff. And sometimes when you get it, at least the one in Miami
You
when
don't
I
even
got
get a
it,
room or
it wasn't that
anything.
good. It was not that good at all. I felt gypped.
They upcharge for no reason. I'm
I
just
was
like,
like, I
nah.
felt real gypped about it. So that's my only gripe about it. Like, I rather go somewhere else and hopefully the price comparison is different. Or I could just say, you know what? I do that. I do the chunk it as a loss, but at the very least, it was part of the travel experience, right?
Yeah,
Versus
yeah.
than being here and be like, I'm salty, and now I'm even more mad.
You know what I forget a lot they offer foot massages. I'm like, you know what? Why I have not thought of that? Just sit down and just have a nice foot massage. Someone just rubbing my feet. I'm just like, because we walk so much, right? We're putting so much pressure on our feet. We're
Remote
sitting
work, that's
down.
on you. You
Yes, I'm the
peasants.
office job.
You're out here
I'm the
peasant. You
office
walk so
job. But no,
much. You're like
I thought
peasants.
about it too because I was looking at some of their package. I'm like, damn, why I never thought about getting a foot massage? So I need to. I am spoiling seasoned. I am about to
Yeah, well,
spoil
I
them.
think part of that spoiling too, if you do it right and you cut back on the stuff you don't care about, it's fine. I think that's part of how you have to start. Like today or yesterday, I had some canned beefs, not canned beefs, canned beans, like some Goya ones. I seasoned the heck out of it. I did what I cooked, I
Did you
cooked it
do? Did
up.
you make it into a burrito like with some
No, I
sauteed
did.
peppers and stuff?
Well, no, I didn't make it to. I've done that before. This one I just made like
Soup?
a bean soup,
Okay.
and on the side I had these Portuguese breads from
Bread.
Trader
Okay.
Joe's.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
I
Like,
see
and
you.
I stuffed them with a little bit of prosciutto. It was on point. And then I thought to myself, the reason I did it because we ran out of like proteins. Because sometimes my wife would just be cooking up some proteins in the fridge, but we didn't have any. So I'm just kind of like, hey, there's gonna be some beans today. It is what it is. I'm still gonna get my protein. And lo and behold, this is what you do when prices are going up on things like seafood, beef, and chicken, and you don't have any or something like that. You don't just sit there and salt in the corner. Like learn to cook, be a better cook, or maybe try something a little bit different, like some vegan options.
You know what? I have. I told you guys before. I've been fasting. So I just stopped eating at what between 7 and 8. I stopped eating, but I have a 16-hour non-eating time, and then the next day, starting around like between 11 and 1 o'clock, I start eat like late morning or late
Ooh,
afternoon. I start
11
eating.
and 1. So when is your period then? It starts like 11 and then ends at like,
It ends at 6 or 7. Yeah, like now.
yeah.
I just finished eating. So that to say that for me, I'm learning to control my appetite. And also, I don't have enough food. I'm not like focused. No, I'm seriously, I'm not focused on, oh, I need to go to the grocery store. I have a lot of spinach. I have tons of chicken and salmon here. But what I do is I cook in bulk where like for a week or two, a week and a half, I have pre-cooked meals and stuff. So if I want to make a salad, if I want to cut up some bell peppers and stuff like that, I can eat it. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't necessarily need to eat around that time. You're asleep majority of the time, anyways, right? And then, early in the morning, I'm in the office. So for me, it works. I have dropped some pounds from it. But what I'm trying to do is slowly get my body to kind of transition into like a more juicing fast. I want to see how that works for more clarity for me and just get my body a little bit more healthy because I don't want to, cram my body with so much processed food and stuff, which is bad for you, but in moderation. But I'm just trying not to do that. Getting older, it's like that inflammation, that environment that you create in your body. I don't want to do that. So, but intermediate fasting is what I'm doing. So that has been working for me. And honestly, I don't hit the grocery stores that much. Today I went because I wanted some spinach. I have tons of chicken breasts that I cooked. So I want to hit up, make some salad, this week or whenever I get hungry. But I'm just like, it feels nice not to be controlled by food. Like as soon as you feel hungry or you think that you're hungry, I need to go grab something to put in my mouth. And that's not the case.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that because ever since starting, I guess, remote work, like it's so easy to be like, well, I gotta go to the fridge, go grab me some
And
beef
it's
real
right
quick.
there.
Like da, 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 da. Like so there I personally I put on some pounds from it and I need to do a better job of controlling it. I think I've controlled, like my weight has stopped fluctuating. It basically just gently stopped at like 200. That's it. Like it just doesn't really go up, doesn't really go down. Sometimes it does go down a good 10, but then it's like that's a 200 because my body has acclimated itself to knowing that this is what I'm eating, this is where I'm at. So now I actually need to get my behind back in the gym so I could really cut down because that's the only way you're going to do it. So there's a couple things we talked about here, guys. So there's this idea of you can't really sit too passively in your job, especially if you're not getting paid enough to beat inflation. Second, there's a lot of pressures, social pressures that's hitting us, over pandemic, over just like living, lifestyle changes, all these other stuff going around. So you kind of need to take some time out. And third, you do really need to control what you're eating because eventually that's going to wear down in your health. And second, you probably need to start, really jump starting your exercise routine to get way more active. A lot of people just kind of do the bare minimum here and there. Maybe they work up a little bit of the sweat, but as you get older, you kind of want to push that into a little bit more overdrive to compensate for your metabolism, slowing down a bit, in my opinion. So I just want to kind of recap real quick.
Yeah, we were a little bit all over the place.
No, but that's the thing for me. That's the kind of learner that I am, anyways. Maybe because I have some pseudo ADHD, if they really wanted to say it, but I could always rope into what is going on. I think some people just stick with one topic and they're fine, but I'm always fine with like the conversation, knowing that this is the true value of it. The value is that we want to make sure that people understand where they're at financially, but you also want to take into account like keeping yourself whole, healthy, and sane in the process as you kind of, navigate life.
Absolutely, because it is going to get harder. It does not get easier. I think it's just coming waves, right? In seasons. So you always want to stay prepared for it versus reacting to situations. So in life,
Yeah.
mishaps,
I think
So
today I saw a YouTube. I guess it's getting a little bit traction here and there. I saw a YouTuber from New York talk about her experiences of, I guess, her losing her dreams coming to New York. So she got there like everybody else, going to New York, and then after 6 years, she's looking around like, how did I end up here?
what
Because
was her dream?
I guess it's just the New York dream. You're gonna go to the big city. The big city is gonna be like Sex in the City, like
Oh,
the
Lord.
show. Everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna kind of have this thing. And she's like, she can't even get up in the morning. Like
Depressed?
yeah, she's literally depressed. She's functionally depressed. And because of all these lifestyle ideals that we started, shopping for ourselves, how we want to live. When you see Instagram, she's a person with a white, kitchen with a big, what's the big island. That's the one that you want. And if it's not shaping out that way, you're finding a lot of millennials or Gen Z now are getting to a position where they're realizing that it's a little bit more out of reach than they thought it was, and they're just unhappy. So her conversation, when she made that statement that she quit being ambitious, which is weird, but it's probably the same thing that I'm kind of saying in a certain way too. Like you quit the pursuit, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think that's something you need to get out there and push and find real balance, because it's not going to be good for those people, especially when I'm looking at her, what she's doing. I'm like, she's struggling. And
I
y'all ain't being
mean, is
honest.
it ambitious, or is it you need to let go of that expectation that you had?
It's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Or even, like she said, she's in a job that she doesn't really care for, but she's just learning to cope with it. She's in a 700 square foot space or something, or a little bit less, that she's just learning to cope with. And she's just sitting there and she's trying to find, I guess, the way that she framed it, she's just, a lot of people are like that, and they're just trying to find online community to be like that together. And I'm like, man, this is terribly sad, because she doesn't like, oh, this is like tough for her, and I need to get out whatever funk that I'm in, so I don't end up being, almost like life ambitiousless or something.
Nicki Minaj got a boyfriend or something?
Oh no, I don't. At least she didn't say anything about it. She didn't look bad or something, so I think she could. But I think there's a lot of people that are also, the loneliness epidemics too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is it a part of that too?
It's probably part of that. Like it's likely 100% part of that. Because sometimes when people are with somebody else, at least they're,
It don't feel as
commiserating, or
alone. Yeah,
they're kind of
yeah.
like going through. Maybe they even have kids, and they kind of push it. But I think we're finding more people are not coping well with the ideal life that they thought they were going to have. And now waking up when they're, okay, imagine in your 20s, you're like, man, lifestyle YOLO, everybody's having a good time. We're swag surfing in the clubs. Everything's going to be like this. And we're going to be grown sexy like we see on TV. And then you wake up somehow, right? Way later when you're 35 plus.
You grow. You ain't sex.
You're like, yo, they struggling. I'm looking at them in there, and I maybe it's a certified fraud examiner thing to me, but I'm able to look at people and I'm like, I could diagnose what they're going through, because I have a certain level of empathy too. I'm looking at them like, yo, you're really struggling with this because you haven't let go of this idealized version of reality, where in truth, this is the real reality. This is it. A lot of people were living, hard lives, and it never meant that they were bad people. It's just like, Like our parents were good people. Generally, they never, they weren't like out there being alcoholics. They weren't out there doing drugs. They weren't all this partying, but yet they were working very hard, and yet life was still very difficult for them.
I want to challenge that. What is a hard life? I'm not
Well,
talking about our parents. I'm talking about the people that are saying this. Like, what is a hard life? Because
I think
once I
you're right.
started to, and I think I went through a season of that in my late 20s, and before I bought the house, and it was just like I was thinking like, oh, this is not what I expected. But then when I start using the technique of gratitude and just writing down what I'm grateful for, what I'm thankful for, like just basic things I'm thankful for, and this is before I got Bruno. I was just like thankful I had a job during the pandemic. Like I was working remote, and I wasn't an essential worker. Whereas my job did not consist of being on the front lines and being in front of people constantly, right? And I had a place, I have food, and God forbid if I did not have money, my mom was an hour away, my sister was close by, my brother was close by. I will always have access to food. You know what I'm saying? And like my bills were paid. No matter if the credit card balance wasn't paid off that month, it's cool. Like I was looking at those small things. Well, to me it was big, but I was just like, my life is not hard. I think sometimes for me, I was putting it in my mind of the idea of what I needed or what I wanted comparing to what I have now. So that's what I'm saying. Like, is it really hard? You know, like it's not a job that you like. I was in a job almost 4 years I didn't like. Well, it was okay. It just the salary, right? But then I got to a much higher paying job with more responsibility. Now I'm a little slightly mental burnout, but it's just like it's things really hard for us. Like I can't really.
You can't really empathize with it.
Low key, I'm be honest. Nah, I can't.
Yeah,
I really can't. It's like you live in one. I'm just gonna use this. I'm using an example from the woman from YouTube you just mentioned. You live in one of the most expensive cities in the world, right? New York's expensive, but it's one of the most incredible and influential cities in the world for a reason, right? And it's isn't amongst of opportunities. Some people make it and some people don't, right? And you meet so many incredible people in New York. Yeah, you have to hustle. Yeah, you have to work twice as hard. But what those experiences have made you who you are. You get what I'm saying? Versus if you would have been somewhere else, not living up to your potential, at least striving to be your potential. I think we lose out on the journey of who we becoming because we're in a season of kind of limbo. And I felt that years ago, I was in a season of limbo. Like, I'm not with this person. This job's not meeting my standard. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just like, but looking back from 10, 15 years ago, I would never have imagined my life like this, And I think sometimes when people say it's hard, I'm like, what about it is hard when you're mobile, you're relatively healthy, you have a job, you're probably living alone or you have a roof over your head, you're accessible to family or support if needed, right? So yeah, I will say it's hard for me to empathize with people sometimes. Like, is it hard? Or you just making it, or it feel hard to you?
Ooh, you trying to be like me with the financial trauma, though? Like, what's up with you?
Oh my God, we're not about to do that. This is a new day.
Low key, but that was
we're not about to do that.
But that's the same energy, though. Don't try to make it seem like it's not the same energy. It's the same energy. Whereas I think we're at the point, maybe because we had it very rough, or maybe we had that epiphany of kind of like getting ourselves psyched up out of it, that we could look at other people says exactly that, ask that question. What exactly are you talking about that is hard? Because the same person that posted about this, she got like 100,000 views on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure eventually she's going to get enough things and people are going to have a good residual income from YouTube of maybe 20K a year or something like that, or even that 30K a year. She's going to get to that point. And I'm like, you are remarkably blessed.
I seen that. I seen her before. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're like, you are remarkably more blessed than you believe yourself to be. And I think I agree with you on that. A lot of people typically we look at the worst things and we awfulize it, like Elizabeth Warren said, or Elizabeth White, I think that's her name, not Warren. Literate White said a long time ago, it's like, yeah, we awfulize our reality. We make it seem like it's like the worst ever. But to your point, she's living in a great city. She has remarkable amount of opportunities. And she's also living in one of the best countries in the world in regards to social mobility and opportunity. Because there's a lot of places where, hey, if you're feeling down and out, nobody cares about that. Like everybody's up in the morning, got to go to work. Like there, if you don't go to get up in the morning, you're not going to eat. So there's this ideal, and you're 100% right. At least maybe I lean towards that we do have to ask ourselves the question, what exactly is so difficult about how good we have it? And to know that and
we
to
have it
recognize
good.
it.
Yeah, we
And to
really
just be
have it
like,
good.
hey, life is not, hey, driving in the Lambo, which is, I guess it's a thing that people want to do, or being at the exclusive party. That's not even real life. All of that is very fake. And a lot of people are struggling with their own version of mental health, or they might be on the run from the IRS or the feds because they got PPP loans. So there's all of this stuff that we need to really wash our minds from and maybe even disconnect and connect with something greater in the sense of like community, people around you, do pottery, go running, or cycling with other people. Get out of the game of thinking that woe is me, and maybe that might help you.
And I think for me too, that's why I think I lean back to the gym, like physically go to the gym versus working out at home, which was sometimes could be convenient. But there was one day after work when I went to the gym and I seen someone on a wheelchair working out, literally paralyzed from the knee down, but they're working out their arms. If that don't put anything in perspective, at least for me, I don't know what will. All right.
Ooh,
So,
yeah, I had one of those moments when I was running a half
and I'm
marathon.
just and I'm just like crying and puffing and doing the most like, oh, I don't want to do this and blah blah
get
blah.
Up and walk. I don't want to go to the
Like I don't want to do this. And so I'm like, yo, and I think about it, I'm just like, God woke me up. I am mobile. I have two legs. I can actually work out. Like it's just me standing in my own way. Like I don't want to, go through this, entire hour and a half workout, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to push myself. I use an app to help me work on different body parts. So I'm going to push myself, right? But I think a lot of us are really experiencing really bad intrusive thoughts where now it's so cumbersome with social media that is ongoing. Like it's almost that tab you can't get rid of every time you turn on your computer. It's like constant reminder, constant, images in your face of what your life should have been, what it should have been like, and all these expectations. If you're listening, let me tell you something. You would not be at this age again. You would not be at, when you were 20, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That has passed. This right now is what matters. Like I will not be 33 again. Like this is it. You only get older, and in those seasons, those experiences, you experience this, you feel them, and you just move on. And that's what it is. If you sit there and you wave and you self-loathe, it's like you're not gonna progress in anything. And I had to kind of like snap out of it, and so that I'm only in this season once, right? Or in this age once. Let me try to live up to whatever that experience may be for this season and be the best that I can. Like I can't continue to self-loathe because I experience a lot of intrusive thoughts. But if you allow it to kind of take over you, I'm on like almost it's like emotional sabotage where it's like choking you, like the heaviness, the weight of it. And I think sometimes people just take it so far where they feel so alone. They're not. We're all feeling some level of loneliness, or no one else feel this what I'm feeling. But understand, man, you're blessed in what you really think. I think most people should do some level of gratitude because, like my brother said, it can always be worse. That's my little tangent.
Yeah, that's that military. It could always be worse.
It can always be worse.
Which is always be tougher. And you're right about that because I was on that half marathon before. That might have been my second one. Well, no, it's probably my first one. When I was running, I was thinking to myself, like, man, this is terrible. I'd rather be walking or something. And then and I'm slowing down to the point where I start walking, and the person that passes me is a person with like, I guess, one leg. I'm like, what the person that passed me after that, I'm like, oh, he has. I start telling myself, these thoughts is like, yo, oh, he has something to run for, or whatever. And then like, oh, the next person that passed me is the person that seemingly looks like they're carrying a lot more weight than I am. So the more and more people pass me, the more and more I realize I'm the one that's not putting out 100%. I'm the one that's really kind of holding my own self back. What, to your point, there's people that have, debilitating diseases, or even people that are struggling with severe headaches or a lot of, bodily pain that they can't get rid of, but yet they're doing these amazing things. And to be almost like soaking in your own, like, almost like your own feces at that point, like soaking your own problems over and over and over again, it doesn't offer a lot of resolution. And I think that's where I want to go with the way that I formulate conversation with people. I don't want to sit there with them in a problem. I want to show them it's possible to live differently so they can move away from those problems.
Yeah, you definitely you have to have peace. You have to create peace in your life, in your world, because this things that are going on right now. Inflation, politics, like so many like laws and regulations, and like school shootings. It's so much, such a mess, that like you don't want to trying to say like carry that weight. And sometimes I feel it's other people weight versus your own. Because a lot of things you can't change it. The things you can change, you're not even trying to control that. You're trying to control things you can't. I don't know, but I see the video that you sent me. She has over 35K subscribers. I remember when she was trying to grow her subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah,
I like her film. I like how she cut her. It's very
cinematic.
Cinematic. Thank you. Yeah, I like the crispiness, everything, and she has a lot of personality too. So she just got to keep going.
Yeah, I think that's part of what she wanted to do, as well as acting. So she already has that kind of, like, that's the field that she studied. So she'll be fine. I
It
think
look like she could be a filmmaker.
Yeah, at some point, it's just the question is, will she even be happy? So I think at any point for all of us, wherever you're at right now in life, let's say if you're married, or let's say if you have kids, are you happy with that? Or let's say you have, a home, are you happy with that? Let's say you're married, not married, traveling, whatever it is. If you're not happy, then it's more of a problem. I recently posted about the whole, I guess, a person that was traveling and they realized they were broke at the end or something. And I guess at some point, the people that love to travel, in their minds, they thought I was kind of like, I guess, pushing against it. But I'm like, I'm not pushing against it. For one, I think you should definitely travel if you have a good plan. That's for sure. But for me, I'm like, yo, you knew what you're getting into. So even if you travel and end up being broke, don't complain about it. Just know that this is what you signed up for. This is what you got in the game.
I feel like with social media, it has its seasons, right? Because, or at least we have a buzz. I'm trying to say like a buzz word for that season, that 4 or 5 year time span. Because I remember before I got off IG the first time back in maybe like 2017, 2018 or something like that. I was off IG maybe 2 years, a year and a half or something. And it was like all about travel, like constantly, right? Content creators traveling. Like
yeah,
Dubai.
that was like 2019 before the pandemic. That was
pandemic, like everybody was just like, it's all about travel. Now it's like, settle down with your family, get a family, build generational wealth, all these things. Like, think about it. Think about these themes.
It became LLCs.
LLCs, NFTs.
That's because everybody got more money from the stimmies and PPP loans, so everybody was shooting that direction.
It's this theme that I'm noticing that is happening. I'm kind of curious what's going to be the next theme for the next 5 years.
A social zeitgeist. It's just the way that everybody shifts towards one direction. And they don't even know how. That's the same way we found like a lot of people are going to Tulum. And I'm looking around like them, like, you even know what's in Tulum? But they're all going to Tulum because some celebrity went and eventually everybody started to go. Or some celebrity went to somewhere, Cartagena, Colombia, and everybody started to go there because it just something that they saw.
Yeah.
So everybody is just kind of like chasing the other one because there's so few people that are truly leaders in even the slightest way in our network or whatever it is. There's so few people that are creatively unique that go their own path, and then there's a lot more people that are followers. And people that are followers, they just copy paste, but they lose out on the opportunity to grow and kind of carve their own path. So anybody that's listening, stop trying to follow people all the time. You never know what you get into.
I know. I'm so curious what's going to happen the next 5 years or 6 years. What's going to be the new theme?
I think the next 5 and 10, and this is what I've been waiting for, is that financial piece. I think a lot. I
know that's what you're waiting for.
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it because I know it's going to hit a lot of people, and maybe at that point, I don't expect everybody to pivot in the right direction, but I know some people are like, you know what, it's time for me to change up because it's going to be a lot harder for people to maintain any form of lifestyle, especially as they age. Maybe the next generation will go through their own struggles, but my generation of people will start looking around like, dang, I'm, just like that guy's like, I'm 40 and I don't have any savings at all. Or I'm 50, and a lot of them are going to be like, I'm 50 and I have nothing saved. And I think we have a lot of people in our network that are more like that than we realize.
Oh yeah, because you post what's her name? I forgot her name, but she was on the Housewives and
British Williams.
Yeah, she was on the House. Was it a Housewives or Basketball Wives? It was
Basketball. Hey, it's the same thing.
One of same thing.
Same thing. There's no differences here.
Yeah, and she's young. She's my age. She's 33. So I'm just like, oh, they gotta give you the fat time. This is not regular.
Oh yeah, like 30 years. She's looking at 30.
Federal
that's
prison.
30 minminimum because it was 30 on one of the counts.
Because wire transfer, so many of
the other ones like 5
line
years
to the IRS
and whatever. I'm like, she's about to get this 30. Let her get this 30 because it's just gonna be more. I guess it's more important that she gets the time because it's gonna force people not to do it. A lot of people in our community went down this path in 2020, 2021, where they just, I remember people, quote unquote, legit people telling others, oh, yeah. They're giving out these PPP loans, just create a business and you're going to go get it. There's a lady called, I think her name is Lynn or something. I remember her recording and I think she recorded it with His and Her Money. And she was going around telling people
his and her podcast.
Yeah, His and Her Money podcast. I'll never forget it because she went on there and she was telling people, "Hey, this is what you're gonna do to create a business, and then you're gonna apply for the PPP loan." And that was that point where I realized like the world has went a little bit crazy because she was renowned person and whatnot, but she was telling people this is what you need to do X, and everybody was almost like they were cheering for it. So we got to a point where in 2020, 2021 and into 2022, you had people that were living a different type of lifestyle by pulling in, quote unquote, free money,
millions,
and using it to buy, homes, changing their bodies, and also promoting a lifestyle. And one of my friends is like, oh yeah, the people were, struggling, they needed a chance. I'm like, it's one thing you needed a chance and what you did was feed your family. It's one thing that you bought a home because you
paid off your student loans for God's sake.
Yeah, paid off the student loan, paid off some credit cards. But you find out these people did he do those things? Like they didn't pay off no credit card for that. They went travel more and they promoted it on social media in the most toxic way that other people felt that they needed to do it too. So I've heard story about Atlanta, like the city, not you, but
I'm about to say what I do.
Not you, like the city was filled with people that were just scamming. Like if you weren't scamming, you felt like you were missing out.
But I mean, it's known for that though. Alainta, it's known for scams city.
Yeah,
Y'all think
it got
Miami is
worse.
bad? No, Atlanta's
Oh yeah,
bad.
no. The state of Florida is bad with the fraud, but that scam culture for that PPP
We do
went
high
nuts.
insurance fraud here
Like
and credit
uh,
card, but they do a lot of credit
home,
card
yeah, they
stuff.
did the home insurance fraud. They did the school frauds too. We're big on that in the South Florida
Yeah,
area.
we're big on that one. We
The
use we
school,
use
the high
other
school,
students,
high
other
school
students'
fraud,
socials and stuff. Yeah,
the high school fraud, the nursing frauds. Haitians. We corner that market and that nursing fraud.
but now it's picking up traction because all these people that were doing all these PPP scams and everything, they're getting X amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
X amount of time and living the high life because what's his name? The
Mm.
artist Fetty Wap. You remember him with the one eye?
Yeah.
He got
That's his
six
name.
years. Yeah, he got 6 years drug trafficking.
Oh, did not know that. I know he
Yeah, recently he
disappeared
got
for a bit.
sentenced. Yeah, he was arrested. He was arrested in 2021, and then he
Yeah,
recently just got sentenced 6 years. And I think that was kind of light for neurotics, for the drugs, whatever. But I think he didn't have any priors. But
yeah.
yeah, he got 6 years. But he mentioned because he was on he recorded something for someone in prison and gave it to like an interview style, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
he mentioned that he knew things were going downhill when he stopped booking. Like his shows wasn't 100,000 anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but he was still spending. Like he was making
Yeah.
that money from that song. I forgot the name of the song, but because he had like a group of people he was like paying and
Yeah.
taking on, shopping sprees, and he was paying people houses and all this stuff. And he has a lot of children and their
Mm-hmm.
families, so that money dried up. He was
Yeah.
like,
And a
I
lot of
gotta
their
keep it
money drives like
going.
this. A lot
That's
of
when he did
their
drugs.
a lot of their money dries up really quick. I was just thinking about basketball players and like, remember Blake Griffin by any chance?
No, I gotta Google him. Who he?
Yes, like he was around. Like for some reason, he just fell out. And today I was listening to some kind
What?
of
What?
basketball
What?
commentary.
What team?
He was at one point. He was in the Clippers. I think he was in somewhere in Northeast. Yeah, he was in Northeast for a bit. I forget exactly what it is, but his name is Blake Griffin. If you
Oh, I
look him up,
remember
you'll
him.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the
see,
red hair. There was
yeah,
the
he'll
yeah.
pop up, and then at some point he disappeared.
Where'd he
And I'm
go?
thinking to myself, like, I'm not saying he did anything wrong. To be honest with you, I have no idea. But it's just so interesting how people could, be here and then not. This idea of like
They literally have an
popularity,
article that says
fame,
what happened to Blake Griffin.
like the fame, the whatever, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, he wanted to live a quiet life." Let's not be facetious here, guys. Some people just fall off because that's the nature of the fame, the celebrity. As much as they might be here for 5-10 years, as soon as they could fall out the limelight, they're just gone. And that's actually, to me, that's terrifying. I think they probably live in a terrifying space. And that's probably why somebody like Gabrielle Union was talking about the whole financial trauma and being 50-50, because for her, she even talked about it during the pandemic, that a lot of these, what she even said it, a lot of the people that we perceive to be black
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
people, whatever they
Elites,
are,
yeah.
they're just living paycheck to paycheck. And she said it then. This is why I need to take her
I
financial trauma
remember.
thing seriously. But she said it then, and it was true. And even like Chris Chris Rock said the same thing too before he got slapped by
Will Smith.
Will Smith. Before he got smacked, he said the same thing too. A lot of people were calling him to try to bail them out because they were living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of these people that we see that promotes the glitz, the glam, the lifestyle, in truth, they don't got it like that. People in living single, a lot of the like Singleton, the guy, as well as the lady Kim Cantrell, maybe, or whatever it is.
Kim Control. Yeah, Kim Control. You talking about from Living Single?
Yeah, a
Show?
lot of the
Yeah.
living, like half of the living single people are living paycheck to paycheck or even broke.
Not Queen Latifah, but yeah.
Not Queen Latifah, but obviously the rest of them, it's like they broke.
No, the other one, she's doing pretty well. She has a black comic book company. What's her
Oh
name?
no, you talk about. I know you talk about like
Yeah, she was the attorney.
Alexander
something. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
still acting. And
No,
still,
it's why I said half. I didn't say all of them. I said half of them. They ain't doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, and because the lifestyle itself costs a lot to maintain, because you do have to dress up the part. When you're a celebrity, you have to look like $1 million, so therefore you dress like $1 million to go to.
That's why I
expensive events.
couldn't be a celebrity like that, because I feel like
The
Who has time
makeup,
for
the
that?
makeup team, the hair,
Yeah,
the look, the
that's a
photographer.
lot.
Because not only you just getting photographers on the side, you got to get your own photographer to catch you on the right angles for
Like
you.
somebody at FinCon.
Oh yeah, and then you also have to get the what happens? Yeah, you get the right look, but then you also have to have the team that block out the bad pictures. Like Beyonce, there's a couple bad pictures of Beyonce before that drop, and it gets scrubbed off the internet
Oh yeah, I
because
remember.
she has a team that she pays to do that. So there's a payoff for this. There is an amount of money that you pay for this level of celebrity, and the moment if you didn't structure your money right or your mindset right, you could lose everything. And I think that's where a lot of people are at, even at the bare, the our level as non-celebrities. A lot of people are living that paycheck to paycheck, and the moment something goes wrong, it's all going down the drain.
Yeah, because didn't Gabrielle Union? Because I seen a little bit of her interview. She said that he takes care of his older relatives on
Mm-hmm.
her husband's side, and she also do it on her side as well. So they take care of family members. It's not just their household solely. So she was saying like it is a pressure where you have to constantly work to do something to make sure that income driven is still there, right? Um,
It's a
Wait,
pressure
yeah.
only that if you allow, especially at their level, to allow it to become that much of a financial pressure. So basically, the houses you buy, the live-in chefs that you have coming making your food, that's you. You have to kind of branch out mentally away from it, because if you do these things, you always have to keep working to keep it up.
Lifestyle inflation is serious. It is very, very serious. Cause once like they'll be so hard to give up if you've been going like 10, 15 years with a personal chef who's been,
Killing
creating
it,
schedule.
killing
Yeah,
it, they
killing it,
killing it.
making sure your body, everything, your health is right, anything that you need. It's like, and then you
Your
go with
nutrition.
nothing. Like
Yeah, you should.
I don't
You're
even
like,
remember
yeah.
how to cook. Like, what do I do?
Yeah, they're like, I have to go home. Go home. Why? You can live here. Like,
So it's just
what you got to go home for?
I can
All
see
we
that
need is
lifestyle
live.
inflation is it's not going to get any easier. You know what I'm saying? As social media blows up as it is, now we have AI. Like you can actually use people voices. It's not going to get any easier. The manipulation is going to get harder for people, and the mental capacity and strength of people is going to become weakened because of the social comparison that we do. Funny enough, and I want you, whoever listening, I want you guys to check this out on the New York Times, the Daily podcast. I think it was like a few days ago. They did a thorough research on this company where it's like an organization, like a nonprofit organization, whatever, where they use robocalls to get donations from regular people. And I heard one of the robocalls. Tell me someone called me last year, and I remember that call because he was trying to what did he say? And not even though I was talking to a robot. He was trying to earn money for the police academy for the kids. It was something along those lines. Then he was being pushy. I'm like, nah, I'm good. And he just, I hung up the phone, but I wasn't even talking to a real person. Straight up
Yeah,
LG,
yeah.
it was a robo, like a robot. And what it sound like it sound like a country person, like they're from like out west or something like that, like Midwest or something. But it sounds so American and real, right? It was like,
And this
oh,
is
I'm
why
so
I am a certified fraud examiner. Like I when they
it's
call me, I know exactly it's
crazy.
fraud. Like, but
It's
you almost got
crazy.
caught.
They
See,
they use
become a
this
certified
technique.
CFE guys and actually beat the scammers.
No, I wasn't gonna give nobody my. I was like, "Do you guys have a website or something?" I was not gonna give my card information to nobody over the phone. That's a no no. But no, they use this technology to manipulate the voice and the inflection of American people, how they speak or what you think they would say and everything, and people fall for it, and that's how they gain like no $20 here, $30 there over how much they made. I think they made like $20 million, and then a portion of that didn't even go to the nonprofit, and it's legal. That's the whole crazy thing about it.
Ooh,
It's very,
yeah.
you got to check it out. I'll send it
A
on the
lot of
group
people
thing.
are falling for these scams. I see sometimes like I get like the emails that say, "Oh, Amazon delivery, click here." I'm looking at it like, "Nah,
Or
that's a
the
scam.
PayPal one.
I ain't never
Yeah.
did that." I be like, "I ain't never did that at all. Like that's a scam to me." But I'm pretty sure the reason that they send these things out in such frequency is because it works. Even if it's not working on me, it's likely working on somebody else.
Yeah. It's
So they
those,
just
it's
keep doing it
scary.
over and over and over again. And you got to be mindful. And I'm happy, like, at least the Haitians, they've never been good on computers. So I'm happy they're not looking at like some emails. Like my mom ain't checking their email because I'm pretty sure they'd be sending her some stuff as well.
Yeah. My mom know not to give her information out
Well,
to
she
no one.
knows, but my mom would be halfway in until it's too late.
The only thing I don't like is, especially with this technology advancing the way it is, because again, when I was listening to it, when I got a chance to listen to the Daily on the New York Times, when I heard him, like, oh my gosh, they called me too last year because I remember that tone and that voice and that accent, right? The only thing I don't like is because it went kind of semi-viral last month or a few months ago where AI technology, they'll take the voice of Rihanna, voice of Drake, and kind of like put it on another track. It's their voice, but they're different.
Yeah,
They're singing
because
different
it was
tones.
a Drake song,
But they
and
did a Rihanna, they
it
did a
was really good.
Beyonce. Yeah, they did like a few of them. So my fear is if they could take celebrity voices, they could take anybody else's voice. Like it could be actual AI. No, no,
Let me
no.
drop. I'm
If
gonna tell you
okay,
why it
if
wouldn't
they
work.
have recorded, if they have
Yeah.
recorded voice out there on the internet for you or something like they can use, why not? If they can
Oh
manipulate
yeah,
those
yeah.
people, why
Oh,
can they not
I'm
manipulate
just gonna say
regular
here
people?
for anybody that's listening here, right? People like Drake has tons of recorded dialogue or music, and therefore their voice is out there, so AI could actually source that. People like ourselves, Alainta, so you might want to be in fear because we have the podcast and it's somewhere on YouTube. AI could
Exactly.
source the heck out of that, but the average person doesn't have enough tracks to actually be sourced. So if they're not, in the news, they're not doing podcasts, they're not doing all this, like the amount of voice recordings that you have out there about you as a regular person does not really exist. So it wouldn't be unmasked like that it would kind of affect everyone as much more it affect people like, celebrities like Barack Obama. Like you got speeches for hours, right? So you could source that information, and get the sounds from it and kind of get his vocal tone, which a lot of his vocal tone was copied off of, I believe he even said himself, from from the mastery of listening to pastors and preachers. That's how he changed his tone of voice to actually become, I guess, get to the point where he became the president. So his delivery was not that like that at the very beginning. It became like that because he kept on listening to other people and kind of mirrored his voice to drop it at those octaves, those tones, the charisma in there. That's where he got it from, the pulpit.
Yeah, but it's still not AI though.
Huh? I'm just saying, but I'm just saying the same way that he did it as a human being, that's exactly what AI is going to do with his voice. Just going to copy different instances of his voice and recreate it in a different way.
Yeah,
Basically, like relining up information.
that's just scary though, and I don't think
But
the laws are
are you
catching up.
calling? Are you calling Barack Obama? Like he's going to call you on the phone and say, "Hey, what's up?" Your
No, I'm
conversation.
not. I'm
Stop
not
the
saying that.
foolishness.
I'm not saying that. But what if someone try to manipulate and call me same like a different number, but my brother's voice is on the other line and asks me to do something?
Your brother is not out there in the streets. We are the ones for the streets.
No,
Like your brother
but
should
I'm
be
saying
afraid.
you just don't know how far this technology you see what it can
I'm just
do
saying
and
your
the
brother should be
potential it
more
could possibly
afraid
do
about you.
other things. That's what I'm saying. The laws need to
Your
catch up.
brother should be afraid of you.
I'm the scammer.
Yeah, like if you call, like he'd be like, I don't know. It might be AI. Like who knows?
I don't know. She does travel, so I'm not sure.
Exactly. It's like, oh, it sounds a little muffled. Or yeah, that call is like, hey, the email is like, I'm stuck in the middle of whatever in Asia somewhere. Send me some money.
Yeah, but my brother's smart. He'll just hang up and probably call me.
No, no, not just that. Like I remember those emails like, "Shay, I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere. You might want to send me some money." I'm like, "You stuck in the middle of nowhere? Wow, how do you get
Yeah,
there?"
they stopped doing. I don't see that as much, or maybe just the
I'm
technology.
that person. I'd be like, "Oh, how did you get stuck over there?"
Yeah, they stopped doing now the scammers from Nigeria and other common places are just reaching out on people on social media and trying to become their spouse and boyfriend and
Oh, I'm
catfishing
getting
them.
the scammers that do the hey, I'm following you for a while, hey, I do real estate. Do you do real estate? I'm like, oh shoot, let's go to scam. Run the play. Like I was thinking about getting to some forex to run the play.
That just went away, huh?
No, it doesn't go away. It be in the background somewhere.
I don't hear about it.
I block a lot of random people that send me stuff, man. I was straight up like, 2 seconds in, you're talking about forex. It's a block. It's a block, restrict, and delete.
I still know what forex is. What is it?
It is a foreign exchange market. It's always been around they make it sound like it's brand new and they shorten down the word, but it's foreign exchange. It's the transaction between the currency from different countries.
Currency exchange. Yeah, I remember. Okay, now it's coming to me.
It's actually the worst thing you can ever do. So anybody listening right now, forex it's not good at all. They just lie to you. You'd have to have a lot of money to begin with to make any level of like a penny here and there. And then you have to literally have a computer. They have computers that could try to do that, like trying to like microsecond time it, whereas one currency is higher versus one currency is lower. So you're trading and bartering currency. So if American dollar is up by 2 cents, then I guess you sell the American dollar to the
it's almost like a day trading, but it's currency. It's currency exchange. Yeah. It's like
it's silly. It is a silly thing to do. Don't do it. It's a waste of your time and your money.
What we do for fast cash. Mm-hmm.
Anybody can do it, but I think we've run the course of this entire conversation where we try to give you guys some perspective on how to really see this moment that you're living in. It's not as bad as you might think it is. Take your time, breathe in the morning, find a bit of gratitude, really stand 10 toes down and know where you are, because that's how you're going to prevent scammers from kind of getting into your mind, or even those thoughts that Alainta talked about earlier, those negative thoughts. Those what do you call them earlier? Those thoughts?
It's called intrusive thoughts.
Intrusive thoughts. That was really deep. You learned that in therapy, didn't you? But ultimately, it's opportunity for you to grow. You can find me in the internet streets, and I'll try to not be as caustic. I'll calm down from my beef with whoever. And for now, I'm still working on it though. But for now, I'm a little bit chill out about it. You can find me on the streets, though.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of TFG. You can find me, Alainta Alcin, on IG. You can also check me out on the YouTube streets. I have previous episodes on that. And people are really checking out the home loan episode that I
sound like
put
a
out.
Scammer. You sound like a scammer when you said that.
Home loan? No. Like so if you don't know, I used my 401k. I took a loan out from my 401k to purchase my current home, and I speak about that process on my YouTube. So you can check out that video because someone randomly hit me up about that. So yeah, I'm on IG as well as YouTube or just anywhere with my name. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. TFG, we're out.
Thank you for listening to the Financial Griot podcast, powered by the Wealth Builders Collective.